My parents made me cover rent and every bill while my sister stayed rent-free, saying they were barely getting by. It's your responsibility, Dad insisted. Then I caught them gloating about a hidden vacation, paid for with my money. When they returned, the house was empty and a single envelope on the table revealed everything. My parents demanded I cover rent and all household expenses while my sister enjoyed a carefree life, claiming they were in financial distress. It's your responsibility, Dad insisted. But then I overheard them gloating about a lavish vacation they'd secretly funded with my money. Their faces drained of color when they returned to find an empty house, with only an envelope on the table outlining everything I'd uncovered. Staring at my bank account, my stomach churned. $2000 was all that remained after this month's mortgage, utilities, and my sister's urgent car repair. I should have known Pearl wouldn't repay me, despite her promises. I'm Grace, 26, and far from the dreams I had after college. Instead of a city apartment or world travels, I'm trapped in my old bedroom, juggling 2 jobs to support my family's lifestyle. Grace. Mom's voice echoed upstairs. The electric bill's due tomorrow. I already paid it, I replied, closing my banking app. Another $3,000 gone. I hadn't even replaced my worn-out work shoes, the soles practically disintegrating. You're such a good girl, Mom said, appearing at my door, her nails immaculate. We're so grateful for you, especially during these tough times. Tough times? That's what they claimed when I moved back after graduation. Just until we're stable, Dad had said. 6 months max. That was 3 years ago. My phone pinged with a text from Pearl. OMG sis, check out these $300 shoes I just got. The image showed Christian Louboutins, her 3rd pair this month. How can you afford those? I texted back. Don't be a downer. I got a bonus. Sure. Her part-time mall job barely covered her phone, yet she always had cash for shopping and trips with friends. Grace. Mom again. Your dad needs to discuss property taxes. Downstairs, Dad sat at the kitchen table, papers scattered, glasses perched on his nose. We're short about $4,000 this quarter, he said, eyes fixed on the numbers. Dad, I'm tapped out. Family supports family, he snapped, finally looking up. Your mom and I sacrificed everything for your college. This is temporary. The usual guilt trip. I wanted to shout that I'd paid for college with loans I was still repaying, but I just nodded. I'll transfer it tomorrow. That's my girl, he said, already distracted. Oh, and the roof needs repairs before winter. Start saving for that. I fled to the back porch, craving air. My coworker Rachel had invited me to happy hour, but I declined. Every cent went to this house while my parents pleaded poverty. Another text from Pearl. Best sushi ever. Wish you were here. The photo showed her at a fancy downtown restaurant, surrounded by friends and pricey dishes. My dinner? Whatever I could scrounge from the kitchen I kept stocked. As I headed inside, I heard my parents' voices through an open window, on speakerphone with someone. It's all set, Mom said, thrilled. 2 weeks in the Mediterranean. The cruise line gave us a suite. Wonderful. A woman I didn't know replied. When do you leave? Next month, Dad said. After years of scraping by, we deserve this for our anniversary. My heart pounded. Mediterranean cruise? Suite upgrade? While I ate instant noodles and skipped dental visits because I couldn't afford the copay. What about the kids? The woman asked. Mom laughed. Pearl's too caught up in her social life to care. And Grace will keep the house running. She's so dependable. You raised her well, the woman said. We did, Dad agreed. Sometimes I feel a tad guilty leaning on her so much, but she's young. She'll earn more later. I stood frozen, their words fueling a fire in my chest. The house account has plenty, Mom continued. We can even add those Greece excursions. House account. The one they said barely covered taxes and repairs? The one I'd poured thousands into? Pearl's joining me to shop for cruise outfits next week, Mom added. She has such great taste. Footsteps neared the window. I pressed against the wall, watching Mom pace with her phone. No, Grace won't suspect a thing. She never checks the statements, just sends money like clockwork. My legs moved. I slipped inside, crept upstairs, and opened my laptop. Logging into the joint account, I downloaded 3 years of statements, hands shaking. The truth was undeniable. Spa days, designer purchases, weekend trips. All while I skipped doctor visits and worked overtime. My phone buzzed. Rachel. Sure you can't come out tonight? We miss you. I started to reply when a memory hit. Last month's toothache. Mom, I need to fix this cavity, but I'm short after taxes, I'd said. We're all sacrificing, honey, she'd replied. Your dad and I haven't had a vacation in years. The statement showed otherwise. 2 days later, a $300 spa charge for a couple's massage. A knock. Grace, can I borrow your black designer dress? Pearl asked. I don't have designer dresses, I said, voice steady. Oh, Mom said she got you one for Christmas. Mom said money was too tight for gifts. Pearl faltered. Maybe I'm confused. After she left, I dug deeper. There it was. A Nordstrom charge, December 23rd. For a dress in my size I'd never received. Rachel texted again. Come out. You sound stressed. I stared at her message, then typed need a drink. They're in 30. At the bar, Rachel ordered shots. Spill. What's wrong? I unloaded everything, the cruise, the secret spending, 3 years of deception. My glass nearly cracked under my grip. Grace, Rachel said. That's financial abuse. It's family, I said automatically, then stopped. How often had they wielded that word? No, Rachel said. It's exploitation. It has to stop. That night, sleepless, I heard noises downstairs. Curious, I crept down and found Mom and Dad's office, photographing documents from a folder. What are you doing? I asked. She jumped. Oh, Grace, you startled me. Just looking for old tax forms. At midnight. You know me, night owl, she laughed, hurrying away. I checked the folder. Joint responsibility agreements, loan documents, credit applications, all with my signature, dated post-graduation. I wasn't just paying the house bills. I was tied to debts I didn't know existed. One paper stood out. A student loan transfer to Pearl Ryan Boutique Startup Fund. They'd used my loan money for Pearl's failed store, claiming it was an inheritance. I photographed everything, uploaded them to an evidence folder, and searched how to legally separate from family finances. It was time to plan my exit. Next morning, I called in sick and visited a small accounting office. Grace. Valeria, our old family accountant, looked the same, sharp eyes, silver-streaked hair. I need help, I said. And why did you really stop working with my parents? She studied me. Closed the door. I laid out the documents. Her face darkened. 3 years ago, your parents wanted to transfer all their debts to you, loans, credit cards, everything. Said it was temporary. I refused. It was unethical. They fired me. My stomach dropped. They found someone else? Clearly. She pulled up files. The boutique? That was your graduate school loan. They said you agreed to give it to Pearl. I didn't know I had grad school money. My voice broke. There's more, Valeria said. They opened credit lines in your name using your social security number. Total liability. Over $100,000. I felt ill. I'm going to be sick. No, she said. You're going to be smart. I'll help. For 2 hours we planned, freeze my credit, dispute accounts, document everything. She called a lawyer specializing in financial fraud. The house account? I asked. Move your money out now. It's legally yours. My phone buzzed. Pearl. Mom's taking me shopping for cruise clothes. Wanna come? I ignored it. I need a place to live. They can't know I'm leaving. Valeria called a client, Kingsley, who owned apartments. He arrived looking like a surfer with tousled hair. I have a 1-bedroom, he said. Small, secure. Reduced rate if you manage tenant communications. When can I move in? Today if you need. Tears welled up. Thank you. That evening Mom was making lasagna, my favorite. My stomach turned. There's my hard-working girl, she smiled. Oh, the property tax bill came. I'll handle it tomorrow, I said, heading upstairs. In my room I made lists. Accounts to close, bills to cancel, items to pack. Pearl knocked, holding shopping bags. Look what Mom got me for the... She stopped. For the what? Work conference, she lied. I got you something. She handed me a $12.99 scarf. A designer dress box peeking from her bag. Thanks, I said flatly. Kingsley texted. Apartment ready. Key under mat. I looked at my childhood bedroom, a prison of lies. In 2 weeks, they'd leave for their cruise, returning to an empty house and a daughter who knew the truth. I began moving money. You sure? Rachel asked, helping load boxes into her car. No turning back. I'm sure. We'd been sneaking out clothes, books, and documents for a week. The rest would wait for moving day. Your new place is cute, Rachel said as we unloaded. Small but cute. It's mine, I said, voice breaking. Back home, Mom asked. Where were you so early? Running with Rachel. The lie came easily. Good for you. Oh, I need your credit card for the gym renewal. Can't you use yours? Money's tight, sweetie. I handed it over, knowing she'd use it for the cruise. It didn't matter. The card would be canceled soon. At work, I visited the bank on lunch. Close all joint accounts, I told the manager. Open new ones at another bank. Family accounts? She asked. Not anymore. I created a spreadsheet. Every bill, loan, and emergency I'd covered. 3 years of records. The total was sickening. Pearl texted. Dad says my room's roof is leaking. Call the repair guy. I ignored it. Let them handle it. That night I overheard Mom and Dad. Grace seems off, Mom said. Think she knows. How could she? Dad replied. She never questions us. I gripped the stair railing, knuckles white. Next morning I met Valeria's lawyer. They committed fraud, she said, reviewing my documents. We can press charges. I just want out. Then we'll get you out clean. She drafted papers. No ties, no shared accounts. At home, Mom was in my room rifling through my desk. What are you doing? Looking for that lasagna recipe, she said, pocketing something. Later, I found my newest bank statement missing. That night, Pearl was online shopping. Split an Uber Eats order, she asked. I'm craving sushi. Use your own money. Why so stingy? I didn't answer, retreating upstairs. Kingsley texted. Moving truck booked for the 15th. Day they leave. Perfect, I replied, handing him rent. What they did isn't okay, he said. I know. A thank you card from Pearl. Thanks for house sitting. Love you. I pulled up my spreadsheet. Mom's spa day, $400. Pearl's car repair, $2,000. Dad's golf membership, $1,500. Their cruise priceless. 2 days left. I played normal, watching from my window as their Uber left for the airport. Mom kissed my cheek, Dad mentioned bills, Pearl waved. They didn't know it was the last time. They're gone. I texted Rachel and Kingsley. A moving truck arrived. Grace? The driver asked. That's me. I'd organized everything. Boxes labeled, items cataloged. The movers worked fast. One held up an envelope on the kitchen table. This stays, I said. It contained everything. Statements, forged loans, credit fraud, and a letter. Dear Mom, Dad, and Pearl, I'm gone. Here's what you took. Household expenses, $48,762. Loans, $31,450. Pearl's boutique, my $25,000 student loan. Unauthorized credit cards, $42,090. Your cruise, $12,000. Total, $161,302. Accounts closed, payments stopped. The house is yours. Enjoy your cruise. Grace. I included their social media posts. Mom's spa check-ins, Pearl's shopping, Dad's golf photos, all timestamped during their poverty. The movers finished in 2 hours. I left my key beside the envelope, with notices of account closures and fraud alerts. Ready? Rachel asked. I blocked their numbers, social media, emails. Now I'm ready. At my apartment, Kingsley handed me keys. Welcome home. It took 2 hours to unload. My furniture felt right in the small space. Stay? Rachel asked. I need to do this alone. I sent cancellation notices to their utilities, credit cards, bank, and mortgage company, then blocked those emails. Pearl texted. Thanks for watching The House, best sister. I screenshotted it, blocked her, and poured wine. They had 2 weeks of luxury. I had a lifetime of freedom. 3 days later, Rachel forwarded Pearl's Instagram story. Can't reach my sister. Anyone know if she's okay? They found the envelope. I laughed. Rachel texted, your mom called work. I said you don't work here. My old phone buzzed with blocked calls. Valeria called. They tried the house account. Bank denied them. Your evidence worked. Good. The mortgage bounced and fraud departments were investigating. Pearl posted. Cutting trip short. Family emergency. Maria texted. Your mom's at the coffee shop, saying you had a breakdown and stole their money. Let them dig their grave, I replied. Dad emailed. This is unforgivable. Answer our calls. I forwarded it to my lawyer. Mom posted on Facebook. My unstable daughter needs help. Someone posted their spending receipts. The post vanished. Kingsley texted. Your parents asked about you next door. I'd expected it. They'd search nearby, assuming I couldn't afford to move far. Mom emailed. Come home. We'll forgive you. I documented it. The lawyer called. They reported you for theft. Police laughed, seeing the evidence. Pearl posted a childhood photo. Miss my sister. Family is forever. Comments tore her apart. Didn't you steal her loan? She deleted it. My bank blocked another credit card attempt. Valeria texted. Your dad tried to reinstate the electric bill in your name. Denied. Mom posted. The people you help most hurt you worst. I laughed at the irony. Carrying groceries, I saw them in the parking lot. Grace. Mom rushed me. Kingsley appeared, dialing security. Everything okay? This is family, Dad snapped. I'm staying, Kingsley said. Mom reached for me. I stepped back. Don't. You're ridiculous, Mom said. Let's go home. Home? The house you can't afford? How's the mortgage? We raised you better, Dad said. You raised me to pay for your loans, credit cards, Pearl's boutique. It wasn't stealing, Pearl said. I needed it for my business. A business that failed while I worked 2 jobs for your shopping. You can't abandon us, Mom cried. Watch me. Security arrived. Leave or we call police. I pulled my phone. Shall I show them the statements? Forged loans? Fraud. You wouldn't, Mom whispered. Try me. We gave you a home. Dad shouted. I gave you cars, vacations, Pearl's addiction. It wasn't like that, Pearl said. Your Instagram says otherwise. Last warning, a guard said. Mom sobbed. We can't manage without you. Your problem. You jail your parents? Pearl gasped. You stole from your daughter. Get out, I said. Never come back. This isn't over, Dad called. Yes, it is. They drove away. Kingsley touched my shoulder. You okay? No. But I will be. I emailed my lawyer, checked my secure accounts and ignored Pearl's voicemail. You destroyed this family. No. They did. I stopped paying their price. The house went into foreclosure. Valeria said over coffee. They couldn't keep up. Bank's taking it next week. Where are they? Parents in a small apartment, Pearl couch surfing. They tried using your name for a rental. Fraud alert stopped them. Rachel texted. Got the promotion. Dinner tonight? My treat, I replied. I could afford it now. Valeria handed me papers. Fraudulent credit cards cleared from your name. At work, Pearl appeared. I got a full-time job, she said. I'm in therapy, understanding what we did. I stayed silent. She offered an envelope. My first paycheck. To start repaying you. Keep it. That's the cost of learning who they are. I shredded it. Rachel showed me Mom's post. Sometimes toxic people need to be left behind, even family. I laughed. The irony. My lawyer sent a cease and desist order. Further attempts would trigger legal action. Kingsley texted. Your dad asked about you at the coffee shop. They can't hurt me, I replied. Pearl texted. House sells tomorrow. Mom's crying over your room waiting for you. I didn't respond. Home was my apartment, dinners with Rachel, coffee with Valeria, Kingsley's check-ins. I booked a vacation, my first, paid with my money. Let them cry over my old room. I was filling my new life. Some say revenge isn't peace. They're wrong. Sometimes revenge is freedom, and freedom feels like coming home.